guys, welcome back to Embers and Ash. My name's Ashley, if you didn't know, and today I want to talk to you guys about how I'm getting my home ready for fall, but with the mindset of preventing winter blues and just making my house somewhere that I'm excited to be. I know for myself that by the time like January, February comes around, it can be really dreary, just the weather's crappy, you're inside all the time, and you're just like itching for spring again. Not to mention, this fall and winter is going to be brutal because we literally are stuck inside because of the pandemic, and not having the sunshine coming through my windows is really going to take a toll on my mental health. I can feel it coming. So I wanted to share with you guys some tips on how I am kind of adjusting my home, or at least preparing it, so that I can be excited and content just being in my house all winter. So the first tip that I have for you guys is to switch out any home items that are beautiful but not functional. I have this going on in my house right now. My example is some of my throw pillows. I really like the look of them, but they're not comfy. And I don't want to have pillows on my couch that I'm not going to be using because it kind of defeats the purpose. So I have this one pillow that's half leather and I really like the look of it, but it's just kind of like sticky and cold. You know how leather is. It's just not a comfy pillow, so I never use it. So I went to HomeSense and bought a couple really fuzzy, comfy white pillows, and I'm switching those out because they are aesthetically pleasing, but they also do the job that I want them to do, and that is to bring me comfort on my couch. So switching out items that aren't serving a purpose for items that can bring you a lot of joy and comfort in your home will help a lot when you're stuck inside. The second tip that I have for you guys is to organize your hot drinks cupboard or basket or area, whatever area you keep your hot drinks in. I'm gonna be doing this just because I have so many like teas that I don't use and that I've accumulated over the years, and it kind of just makes my cupboard too chaotic, and I want my hot drink cupboard to be somewhere really inviting so that I'm more drawn to make myself a hot beverage because it can bring me a lot of joy in the wintertime. My third tip for you guys is to replace any dead or dying houseplants. This is something that I'm bad about because I so badly want to keep my houseplants thriving and rejuvenate them if they're dying, but sometimes you just have to let go of them. There's no bringing them back to life, or the worst is the ones that are like half dead, and so you keep them around because they're still alive, but they're not doing well and they don't look good. I have this parlor palm on my counter that I've had for years, and it's not a good location for a plant because it doesn't really get much sun, but this parlor palm just is holding on for dear life. Like, it's half dead, but it still is there, but it's not good to look at, and anything dead in your home isn't gonna bring you joy or happiness, especially when everything's dead outside in the winter. So replace your dead plants. It'll bring a lot more energy to your home. The next tip that I have for you guys that I'm always really excited to do, and that is to replace your bed pillows. As you probably know, if you have the I think it's cotton blend pillows, over time they just kind of sink down into just a pancake of nothing that you're sleeping on at night, and nobody wants that. So if you're in that situation like I am, replace your pillows for some nice new ones. I specifically was on the search for a pillow that said maintains its shape so that I don't have to keep replacing my pillow. So I'm really hoping that that's true and I don't have to replace it. But there's nothing better than cuddling up in bed with a new pillow. And again, this can just bring excitement to your home. I'm so excited to sleep in my bed at night when I have a new pillow. Uh-oh, Rook is waking up. Let's go get him. Okay, Rook's gonna join us for the rest of this video. Say hi. Hopefully you'll stay happy. Where was I? My next tip is for anyone out there who has planter boxes outside. If you're like me, I love having a vegetable garden during the summer, but in the winter time, all those plants die out, and then you just have these sad, empty planter boxes outside, which is not very inviting. So my tip for you guys is, if you can afford it, buy a couple perennial plants that you can put in those planter boxes over winter. They don't have to be crazy or exciting or expensive, just something to fill the ground so that you have some life in those boxes as opposed to just dead dirt. And if you want to go the extra mile, the thing that I'm doing in my planter boxes this year is I'm going to be putting a butt ton of bulbs in all of them so that by the time spring comes, I have all these tulips and daffodils and hyacinth all coming up out of those beds and really bringing that life to spring that we're itching for in the winter time. My next tip is to get out your coziest loungewear and slippers. This is something that I often forget to do because I store it away away and I just forget that I have it. But for example, like I have these really cozy slippers that I always forget that I have, and it's so nice to bring them out and throw them on my feet when it starts to get chilly out and just bring that extra level of comfort to your home. The next thing that I'm doing to prepare for fall and winter is I actually went out and bought some books to read. So I'm not a big reader in general, like I'll read one book a year maybe, but specifically I don't read during the summer just because typically I'm very busy. But the wintertime is the best time to buy yourself a good book to read, and specifically try and find a book that brings a lot of peace when you read it, as opposed to like a hardcore self-help book that makes you feel crappy about yourself, which those are great, like self-improvement is always a good thing. But I went out and bought a series of books on hygge and making memories and just happiness, because I know when I read that type of book, it brings me a lot of joy. And when you're curled up on the couch with your new pillows, your cozy slippers, and a good happy book, it really brings a lot of joy to those dreary months. And my last tip for you guys, and I saved this for last because it's the most obvious for me, and that is to declutter your home. I said this last year when I was preparing for fall, and I'm saying it again because it stands true. The fall and winter time is generally when you spend the most time in your house, so you want it to be as clear of clutter as possible, because so that you don't feel so overcrowded and stuck. So yeah, I had to throw that one in there. So those are all my tips. I hope you guys get something out of this and have an easy transition into fall, which I know for a lot of people fall is their favorite month, but it can be a sad time for a lot of people as summer's ending and the days get shorter, you know? So I wanted to put my 2 cents in how to help. Oh my gosh, you are falling asleep. Look at you go. If you're interested in more fall content, maybe check out my last video where I show you all my fall thrift finds from this year. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!